Jill. I'm one of the booksellers here at Water Street Bookstore, and we're really happy that you came out to celebrate the release of the 10th volume in George O'Connor's wildly popular series, The Olympians. And I just thought, while George was getting himself ready, I just thought we would talk briefly about how I think that this is a pretty lucky day, because we had the super blue blood moon earlier this morning, so that's kind of like this important celestial event that I think Olympus approved sort of experience here. And also, I didn't realize that Wednesday is a day devoted to Hermes, so we're kind of hitting it right on the button. I was looking through, and I know that Hermes is the god of a lot of stuff, and I think most people know that he's the trickster, right? Because he's very cunning, and he was known for pulling all kinds of mischief amongst the gods and amongst mortals. Hermea was the name given to riotous festivals thrown in his honor. So he's always been sort of associated with that free-spirited, freewheeling kind of fun. He was patron of thieves. On the day he was born, he stole cattle from Apollo. So he's got guts and also maybe a little bit of reckless streak. He was a son of Zeus and Maya. She was one of the Pleiades. And we often know him as being the herald or the messenger of the gods, and also he was known for being able to travel to the underworld and exit without any consequence to himself. So he had a lot going on, and we think he's absolutely special. We love him. George O'Connor is here, and we love him. Thanks for coming back here.
Hello everyone. Thank you all for coming out here today. I see some of you looking with a mix of sadness and pity on your face. That is okay. I am dressed up as Pan after all. Who here has ever seen me before at this bookstore? At this bookstore, not just at like a school visit, at the bookstore. So you guys know that I can't tend to do kind of a whole silly presentation each time? Yeah, this time, alright, let me just be straight about some stuff here. Hermes, this is book 10 of Olympians, right? Thank you all for coming out. This is an amazing crowd. Hermes has always been my favorite Olympian. Have you guys ever heard the story of me as a kid? I'm going to tell you really quick. It was 3rd grade. I was a little boy in a school program where we learned, we did a lot of program learning, and we started learning about the Greek gods, and we had to do an oral report dressed up as our favorite Greek god, right? I did not dress up as Pan. I dressed up as Hermes, and he was like my favorite god. I wore like a baseball hat from Disney World that had like wings on it, and I had like a caduceus, his wand. I made it of green paper snakes and a coat hanger, and I was gonna make these cool sandals out of like a golden shoelace and some Pegasus wings from a toy I had, but I forgot them that day. So instead I taped these like just loose leaf paper wings to my feet. And I wore like a towel and no pants, and I stood in front of everybody I knew and talked about that. And it could have been the most traumatic event ever, but instead it made me like a man who's now, I'm in my 40s and I'm dressed up as a goat in front of you. Why am I dressed up as Pan? Yeah! Go, boy, go! Why am I dressed up as Pan instead of Hermes? Well, I mean, Hermes is pretty buff, and I'm not that buff. Actually, if you guys have a copy of Hermes in front of you, I invite you to take a look at the cover and look at the picture of Pan, because Pan is pretty much clearly a better looking version of me. Wait, let me do the face. Pretend I have this part of the beard shaved off. Just like,
actually right.
right? It's like, so we're gonna do, I could just talk about stuff. I'm gonna take questions, definitely, but I wanted us all to, I said I'm going to, not right now. Is this super important right now?
Well, I just want to name all the things that...
Oh gosh, no, we're not going to do that right now. We're going to do some of those. Let's start this off. Let's actually draw a picture of Hermes, because he's the dude we're all here to celebrate. And he is the god. A lot of people will just say, when you ask an average person, especially an adult, what Hermes is the god of, if they know who he is at all, they say, he's the god of messengers, which is true, but Hermes is so much more than just the god of messengers. Give me one thing he's a messenger of. No novel.
Well, I might just give one thing.
No, you just might give one!
One thing. Are you ready? This one is just going to be a very straight. He's the god of wit.
Of wit?
Yep, I bet nobody in here knew that.
No, so he is the god of wit. That's a good one. What else is he the god of? Somebody else. Yes, sir.
Thieves.
Thieves. Yes, he's the god of thieves. I'm worried that that's the one you went to first. But yes, what is he the god of? He's the god of forgetting stuff, and then we'll come back to you later. Who is he the god of?
Roads.
Roads. Yes, he's the god. What else is he the god of?
Travelers.
Travelers. Yes, what else is he the god of? We're coming back again. Who has a god yet? Anybody else? I'll tell you guys some other stuff. Hermes is the god who brings you your dreams every night when you sleep. He is the god that when you die, he brings you to the afterworld. He's the god of boxers. He's the god of guard dogs. He's the god of every time somebody makes a transaction, he's the one there. We get the word market and mercantile from his Roman name, Mercury. He is so busy because he is hyperactive. He is the god of speed. You have to keep him busy because he gets into trouble. The name of this book is Hermes Tales of the Trickster because he is the trickster god of the Olympian pantheon. He's kind of the smartest of the gods. Only Athena's maybe as smart as him. I think personally he might be brighter than Athena even, but he doesn't use his powers for good. He uses them to cause trouble. When I write Hermes, I actually, in my mind, I write Bugs Bunny. So, here's a picture. Here's this Caduceus, his wand. I forgot there's other stuff. Does anybody else know any things he's the god of? Do you remember anybody? Let's go. What do you got?
It says trade.
You just read one. Trade. Yeah, that's kind of close to commerce. What do you say?
Blah, blah, blah.
Of what? Yes! He's the god of gambling, which like none of you should do because it's bad. Way in the back, sir!
Isn't today Wednesday?
He's the god of Wednesday! Yeah, did you guys know that? He's literally the god of Wednesday. Good call.
Jill told me.
Oh, good call, Jill. Yeah, this dude, he has, the reason he is associated with speed, we all know he's the god of movement and speed, he's the fastest dude there is. It's because he has so many jobs, he literally has to be in multiple places at once. Hermes never has to sit there and just be like, doo-doo-doo. Hermes is literally, if you see Hermes, which I don't know if you guys have ever seen Hermes, if you see him, he's actually moving so fast between that space and a million other places at once that he seems like he's there, but it's like animation. So, here's my picture of Hermes. Let's label it. Hermes. I'm kind of hyperactive too, so that's one of the reasons I like him so much. I need an assistant. I volunteer. I will remind you guys again, never volunteer for anything until you know what it is. Literally I'm just going to throw things at you. You're like, who cares? We had a good run. How about you way in the back? Yeah. Well, no, next to you actually. Did you have your hand up? No?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Come on. Let's lower this picture a little bit. It's awfully sad.
That's not too bad.
Everybody, what's your real name? Yeah, we're calling you Hermes. This is Hermes! Hermes, wave to the people. Hermes, stand right over there, please. Make sure you hold up, like we gotta see. Don't cover your face. What is your face? We know, this is Hermes. Who can tell me a little bit about the parentage of Hermes? Who is Hermes' dad? Who hasn't got here? What do you say? Zeus, get up here. What is Zeus the god of? Somebody tell me. Just one thing, let's do the same thing. Way in the back, sir.
The other gods, the rest of the gods.
Yes, he is the god of the gods. Let's go. And behind him, what do you say?
Sky.
Sky. Oh, good. You know, one of my pet peeves is when people say he's the god of storms, which, yeah, that's kind of like a Thor thing. Zeus is maybe, I mean, Zeus is god of the whole sky. He's got everything covered. Blue sky, Zeus. Thunderclouds, Zeus. Giant hailstones coming down, Zeus. He's everything. What else is he god of? Somebody else. Yeah.
Eagle.
Eagles, good call. Yeah, he is the god of eagles. Nice one. This is a good crowd. I like this. Normally, like, I just get thunderbolts and that's it. Anybody else got anything to throw in there that's... Gig's kind of obscure to oak trees. Yeah, why not? Oak trees, yeah. He's the god of the rule of law, actually, which is weird because this dude, like, cheats on his wife 900 times. But he's the god that makes sure that you... The Greeks were pretty cool about it. They're like, you know, just don't kill anybody. That's okay. But as long as, you know, he was the guy that made sure that people weren't too evil. My version of Zeus, his mustache looks like a lightning bolt to reflect that he is the god of the sky. Ooh, that hair got big. It's the static electricity, I guess. It's like, my hair is a little dry. Let's make him holding a lightning bolt. This will be important for the story I'm going to tell today. Lightning bolts are fun to draw because you can't draw them wrong. And let's give him... Oh, actually you can you?
I've had many attempts, and almost every single time I get it wrong.
Well, that sounds like you're
And
being
my mind,
overly
I'm
tough
like,
on yourself.
Dad, come. But it's pretty cool still.
Zeus, if you will kindly stand next to your son Hermes. Everybody give a round of applause for Hermes. For obvious reasons, today the part of Peen will be played by me. Hey Dad. Hey Grandpa. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Hermes is my pop. Zeus is my grandpa. Clearly I don't take after them that much in looks, but there's, maybe a little family resemblance. This is one of my favorite stories. In fact, when I say one of my favorite stories, this is literally my favorite story of Greek mythology. It's a story that involves the three of them together, and it is the story of Typhon. Have you guys ever heard of Typhon? Alright, for those of you who haven't, let me tell you about Typhon. Typhon is also known as the last son of Mother Earth. Mother Gaia was always felt very threatened by Zeus. What's happening to your face there? Show the Zeus, not your handkerchiefs. All right. Gaia was never really happy with Zeus because Zeus locked the Titans away. When he overthrew them, Gaia is the mother of us all. And she's like, hey, can you not put my kids underground? I know they were stinkers, but let them free. And he's like, no, they go underground. And so Gaia was always trying to overthrow Zeus in various ways. And one of the ways was she created Typhon. Typhon had 100 heads. Was as big. Each of these heads was a different monster, a different animal. Each head spoke a different language. Every head vomited poison and breathed fire. Vomiting poison is pretty gross if you think about it. And then, not only that, Typhon's body was so big it filled the entire sky. And then Typhon had black wings that scraped the stars. And Typhon came to Olympus to kill. Well, not to kill, because you can't kill an Olympian. To get rid of Zeus. I need to make a Typhon. We're not going to draw 100 heads. We're going to draw several. You! What is the first head of Typhon? Come on up here. 100 heads to choose from. You can choose. What sort of head will this be? What fearsome monster or beast?
You can take a look at my book.
Or you can make one up.
A sphinx.
Man, everybody says sphinx. A sphinx has a human head.
Oh, there is a human head on there.
Oh, let's do the human head. You want to do the human head?
Yes,
all right, stand on this side. We're going to put you over here.
It looks like Zeus. Looks like, a lot like Zeus.
I'll try to make it sphinxy looking. Give it like kind of cool cat eyes. There's a big nose, kind of broad. Fangs. Fire. Poison. You like sphinxes, huh? That's one thing. I've only got to show the Sphinx once in this series. I'm like, I really want to do more of the Sphinx. The Sphinx is actually in this book. Let's get the hair on fire. Thank you very much. How's that, guys?
Awesome.
All right, there. We have assembled the first head of Typhon. Now, if you recall, I said Typhon makes 100 different, we're not going to make you speak of language. You need to make a human noise. What's a good scary human noise? How about, hey, I'm walking here. Is that good? All right, that's pretty terrifying. All right, so that's going to be yours. We need another head of Typhon. Yes, what is your head going to be?
My head is going to be a tiger.
A tiger! Okay.
Because I am like the tiger itself.
Stand to the side so people can see as I draw the tiger head. And how are you like a tiger?
Sometimes I get so mad that I just can't control myself, and I just attack people. Once I even bit my mom.
Well, that's a terrifying thing, and I want to remind you you're on camera, so you just have to...
I know.
So, Mom, you can use this as evidence against her. All right.
But I am.
What is the noise a tiger makes? Very good. We're gonna make you wait for it. That was a very good tiger. Tiger and human head stand next to each other. We need another head of Typhon. Yes.
Me?
Yes, you. What is your head going to be?
A dragon.
Oh, ooh, I like this. So far we've gone, well, you did a sphinx, but it's like, human head. And then we went into like a real existing animal. Now we're doing a dragon. I haven't drawn it before. I like to draw a dragon. Let's see. Let's give it a big nostril. It's got to breathe fire. Dragons are another cool thing that, like lightning bolts, you really can't draw them wrong because they can look like anything. All right. Oh, let's make some poison vomiting now too. If you vomit poison, what does that mean you ate? Probably McDonald's, right? Sick bird. What noise does a dragon make? Nice. Okay, you sit over there. I need orange. You come up here. Yes, your shirt is orange.
Okay.
What is your head of Typhon going to be?
A mog. Part man, part dog. Its own best friend.
Did you guys hear this? Stand to the side a little bit. Did you guys hear the comedian? He said a mog, and I'm like, am I hearing things wrong? He's like, no, he's part man, part dog, and he's his own best friend. Yes! Well, just for that, your mog is going to be a pug. Really? I'm sorry. Yeah, well, you can't bring pugs out and flag them. Now, in my experience, the noise pugs make is normally struggling to breathe because they've been so horribly bred. So can you give us a good pant? That works. Let's do another head of Typhon. Who is sir way back there? No, you. Yes, you. What is this head of Typhon going to be? A what? A crow. Oh, cool. We haven't had any birds yet. What noise does a crow make? What? Have you ever met a crow? No, you're thinking of a snake. Crows go caw-caw. Wait, I'm already just as a goat. I should have been making goat noises. So would say bark. I feel like you guys have never seen animals before.
No, I'm a pug.
Yeah, you are a pug.
Yeah, I've seen a pug like 1,000 times because I have one.
And I think we're going to do one more head of Typhon. Who shall it be? How about you, Blue? No, yeah, you, Blue. I mean, that's oh. Blue, what's the last head going to be? A horse! What noise does a horse make? Neigh. Okay. Yeah, this horse has got a fiery mane. He's barfing poison again. Yeah, I guess they're more drooling than barfing. I mean, but you know, come on. Let's not be disgusting. All right, what and? Can you cloud people? Because I'm calling you a cloud, which doesn't make sense, right? Typhon is like a giant cloud of heads. Can you face the audience and show them all your heads? And give us one. Whoa. There goes that. We'll leave that there for now. Give us the noise of a Typhon. Each of you has. Alright, that's good. That's enough, Typhon. Now, all of you guys cluster in the corner. Alright. So, let's cut to Mount Olympus. Turns out Pan doesn't like to hang out on Mount Olympus too much. All that marble floor, it's kind of rough on my cloven feet. I like to run around chasing after nymphs. It's a little bit creepy, but you know, it's an unenlightened age. Instead, my dad and my grandpa are hanging out on Olympus. You guys hear the most awful noise in the world, which we just heard coming towards you. Yes, I mean, there's nothing worse than a pug, right? You're all great. Pug, stop it. So, Hermes, you see this and you go to Grandpa. You're like, I don't think we should stay here and fight. I think we should get out of here. And you split. You run to Egypt. The glasses over there, that's Egypt. You hang out there for a second. Didn't know Egypt was so close, did you guys? Zeus, you have many faults. You're kind of a creep. You cheat on your wife a lot. You sometimes blow dudes up with lightning bolts. But I will say this, you're not a coward. And you're like, I ain't running. No, you're not hissing. You're just go on, say, I ain't running.
I ain't running!
I'm Zeus,
I'm Zeus!
king of the gods.
King of the
I'm
gods!
gonna fight you, Typhon.
I'm gonna fight you, Typhon!
That is awesome. All right, so you guys come out and have your battle together. Now, for the sake of not destroying this entire store, we're gonna pretend that, like, let's like, you make some noises. You make some lightning bolts. You're throwing lightning bolts at these heads. Bam! It's hitting you right in the face. Hitting you right in the face. And like, it looks like it's going pretty good for Zeus, even though you're so big. But then, there's a secret weapon that Typhon has. I didn't tell you guys about.
Fire?
No, the fire's everywhere.
Cuteness.
No, definitely not cuteness. That's a pug. No. Typhon pulls out this sickle of Kronos. It's made of adamantine, the same stuff as Wolverine's skeleton. It's unbreakable. Zeus last saw it when he defeated his own father Kronos. He pulls it out and he attacks Zeus with it. Zeus is immortal. He is indestructible, more or less. You can't kill an immortal guy. You're a shape changer. You can't imprison him. No matter how big the prison, he'll sneak out through a crack. So how do you stop him? You take a sickle and you cut out his tendons.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah, so Zeus, I need you to lay on the floor like you're an empty meat puppet.
I want to eat.
There's a tendon for you. In case you people are wondering, I'm not actually handing out innards to children. Twizzlers. Known in some parts of the world as red vines. Guys, don't eat them, they're tendons. No, that's disgusting. You're like a cannibal.
No, we're monsters.
No, don't eat the tendons, you monsters. You didn't even ask your family. Typhon, you were supposed to take these tendons and you go into a deep cave and you sit on them. Because nobody could get you in that cave and Zeus can't do anything because he's got no tendons. If you have no tendons, quick science note. In case you know what the role tendons play, tendons are what attach your muscles to your bones. If you don't have tendons, your muscles will float around your skin, your bones are sitting there empty, you lay in the ground, much like our friend Zeus. Come on. So Typhon, get in the cave. Group together as tightly as you can. Stop eating Zeus. It's disgusting. Now, this is where Peen comes into play. Now, when I first saw Typhon, I admit it, I was pretty terrified. I didn't stay and fight. I'm just a half goat, half god. I mean, what can I do? So I ran to an ocean, and I jumped in, and I became a half goat, half fish. Do we have any Capricorns in the audience? There's a Capricorn, there's a Capricorn, there's a Capricorn, there's a Capricorn. Guys, Capricorn is one of the signs of the zodiac. It is a half goat, half fish. It's me, Peen, when I'm hiding out from Typhon. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. So it takes me a long time because I'm half goat, half fish. I swim all the way to Egypt where I know my dad is. Now, Hermes, can you come back over here? Let's pretend this is Egypt now. Everybody, it's Hermes again. Hermes, this entire time, you've been hiding out in Egypt. You've been pretending to be an Egyptian god. Can you do a little walk like an Egyptian for us? Do you know what that means? Like, I'll hold the Hermes for a second. Give us like a little bit of like a, yeah, that's, yeah! Egyptian! Hermes fled to Egypt along with the rest of the Greek gods. You're not by yourself. And they became, this is what the Greeks believe, they became the Egyptian gods. Hermes in particular became Thoth. You had the head of a bird, an ibis. Have you ever seen that? You had this weird bird head. And then I come to Egypt, I'm like, Pop! Wait, you should be this. Pop! Grandpa! They cut out his tendons, he's laying in it. Some of them are eating because they're weird. But like, they cut out his tendons, he's laying in this big hole. We have to help our grandpa. And then you're kind of like, well, here, work with me. Well, I feel pretty bad about this. Probably shouldn't have left my father to get his tendons cut out. We should work on something to save him. Way to go, Hermes, you had a realization. Now, Hermes, you are the fastest of the Greek gods, is that not correct? Yeah, you are. Hermes is being deceptively humble. Hermes is so fast that Hermes makes the speed of light seem slow. You're literally in multiple places at once. You can move pretty quickly. It doesn't matter how quickly you are. You can't get in this cave because it's chock full of hundreds of heads vomiting poison and breathing fire. It's going to end badly. That's where Peen comes in. So, my name is Peen, as I've said like 70,000 times so far. Do you know what modern words come from, Peen? Panic! Yes! My special power. It's the power Peen has. And it's where we get the word panic, is that my yell creates panic. I would just give this scream, and you would hear this, and you wouldn't be able to control yourself. And no matter who you are, even if you were a giant 100-headed like Twizzler-eating monster, you would be totally stricken by panic. So what I need the audience to do, we need to come up with a yell of panic. And what I need you guys to do is everybody needs to think of the one thing in their life that gives them panic. Maybe it's your first kiss. Maybe it's the day of your child having a first kiss. Maybe it's tax season, that's coming. Maybe it's just the state of this country, what's going on. Maybe the fact it's so cold outside. Whatever it is that causes you panic, on the count of 3, we are all going to yell the most panic-inducing thing together we can think of. Are we all on this board, this guys? You got it ready? Y'all ready? You in the back? Yeah? All right, 1, 2, 3. Deadlines! What did everybody else say? I can only hear my own panic. Fire? That's a good one. What? Being late. I thought you said being right. I'm like, I hate when I'm right. Anything else? We get any of the good ones? Anyone want to share their panics? Spiders? Good.
Back then we're actually doing this.
Yelling out in public? Boom. Meta. Death. Oh, death. All right. It worked. Typhon. You guys, you hear this? You're momentarily stunned. And then Hermes. This whole time, you were waiting around the curvature of the earth. You were so far away, Typhon couldn't see you. And in that 1 second when he is terrified, you race in at super speed, and you grab all of Zeus's tendons. Guys, you guys ready to tendons? Oh no, it's a floor tendon. Come on, give up your tendons, you're startled. You guys can eat them later. If your family approves. I don't want to be the guy who gives candy. Now, you race back to Zeus. Zeus, you gotta get these back in your body somehow. Let's just say that they're inside. We don't want to. That'd be weird if we just stopped and watched as Zeus ate like 6 Twizzlers. Like, can I stop now? No! Zeus, come on. Get him back in a second. Zeus, step forward, please. Give us your mightiest flex. Zeus is restored! Through the heroic efforts of Pan and Hermes, we have raced, we've returned the Twizzlers, tendons to Zeus. You're all like jacked out. Now you're not gonna be surprised by any you're like, you've got a sickle made of adamantine. I have lightning bolts! And you start throwing them and boom, you blow up a dragon. Boom, you blow up a pug. The pug is dead. Boom, you blow up a crow. Boom, you blow up a sphinx. You didn't know it was a sphinx because it was a human head, but man, it's a sphinx. It's like, hey, I'm walking here. What's that? Oh man, the tiger. Boom, it's gone. You hiding out on us there? Can you see that picture for a second? I'm not gonna throw it on the floor. Boom! The horse is gone. Then you pick up a whole mountain. Boom! And you throw it on what's left, right there, right in that ugly pug. Bam! That is Mount Etna. It's smoking ruin. But you have defeated the last son of Mother Earth. And now, you ever watch professional wrestling? Alright, I'm gonna step in here. Should I Zeus for a second? Sure.
No, not this. I know.
There's a thing that wrestlers do where they kind of talk to the camera when they're like.
Oh yeah.
I'm an old guy, so like I grew up watching like Hulk Hogan and stuff. So I'm like, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. It was a good fight, but I brought him down. I brought him down and broke him. I burned him with my lightning, and I dropped a mountain on him. Who's gonna stop you? Flex. Yeah, nobody. Zeus in the house. Guys, give a round of applause for everybody. I like that you're not interested if you can keep the drawings. You're more like, give me my sugar. You guys, for being my assistants, you may all keep your drawings. Thank you so much. You may eat your Twizzlers if your family says it's okay. Don't tell them. They must never know.
Everyone else
You want
put
a
their
fresh
teddy.
So guys, thank you being like such a great audience. Like if you got to act out with this movie, my favorite Greek myth of all time. This is a scene. This is part of the book Hermes. This is a scene I have been planning and working on sketches for since I started this book series. I started the first sketches on this book in like 2008, which is probably longer ago than some of you guys have been alive. So I figured.
2008.
Well then, yeah, as long as, yeah, I started before that. It's older than you. So what I'm going to do now, if you guys would like, I'd like to take time for a few questions.
I don't want to finish my thing.
Does anybody have questions? Yes.
Can we do like a quiz of cheap lists?
Can we do it? Wait, are you asking me to come up with trivia contests right now?
Yeah.
All right. I like it better when you guys ask me questions, but I can come up with a few. Okay. What does the prefix what does one of Hermes' cult titles is Argophantes? What does that mean? Good guess. No.
Because he defeated Argus by eventually making all of his 100 eyes closed.
Yes, it is. It's a reference to his role as the Slayer of Argus. A little bit of spoilers there, but you're all gonna read the book soon anyway. Another question I'll ask you guys really quick. Who is the mother of Pan? We didn't talk. Who has not gone yet? Some of you guys, you haven't gone yet. What? Who is the mother of Pan? No, good guess. Maya is the grandmother of Pan. She is the mother of Hermes. What? You cheating? Who is it?
It's Penelope.
It's Penelope.
I've
Although
looked at the book like 1,000 times.
the book came out yesterday. There's no way you looked at that. Yes, Penelope, but not the Penelope of the Odyssey. Although some people do get confused because of course that Penelope was the wife of Odysseus and she remained faithful. This Penelope was a nymph and she made a goat baby. I guess I should do like one more question. Oh, who is Hermes' grandfather? Yeah.
Me?
Yeah. No, that's his dad. He actually has two grandfathers. That's right. Because one of them is going to be pretty obvious and one's a little bit less obvious. So what's one? Kronos is one, indeed, yes. The less obvious one?
Rhea.
No, good guess though. You're very close. You're very close. No, I think Uranos would be like his. I think Creus is like his great grandfather, and Uranos would be his great great grandfather. Yeah.
Yep.
No, that would be like his great grandmother. All right, I'm gonna give you guys a clue. Gosh, he sure is heavy, holding up the entire everything. Who has a gun? Yeah. What do you say? Oh, come on. Say it. Atlas, yes. Now, who has questions for me? Because I've asked you guys enough questions. Yes.
What's your favorite book that you wrote?
Oh, the question was, for those of you who didn't hear, what is my favorite book that I wrote? It's actually a two-part question now. I always used to say Hera, The Glory of Hera, which was always my favorite. But now that Hermes has come out, which is like it's at both points, it's the silliest book I've ever done, and it's also got the most crazy, violent fight in it. So I guess it's between Hera and Hermes. Those are my two favorites. Thank you. That's a great question. Anyone else? Yes?
Would you like to hear all the things that
No.
Hermes has got up?
No. We've already talked about that.
But I want to hear
I wrote that. I don't need to hear that part. I wrote that stuff.
I'm just
Yes, in the back.
what's your favorite deed that Hercules had to do? Because I know it.
So you mean like the 12, So Heracles, because that's his Greek name, and I'm a stickler for that. Heracles had his famous 12 labors. Of his labors, I mean the Hydra makes for a great sequence because you knock off the head and two more take its place. But I think my favorite part of that book was when he dragged Cerberus up from the underworlds. It's like he's an older guy, he's really tired, and it's probably the single hardest. Because not only does he actually literally has to go to where he goes to the underworld where dead people live. And then he has to catch, some of the stories he works out a deal with his uncle, some of the stories he actually steals it from Hades, but he still has to drag up a giant three-headed dog the size of an elephant who fights him every step of the way. And he has to drag this thing all the way from the underworld up to the surface world to show it to his rotten cousin. That literally takes him years. Like, he's gone for so long, people think he's dead. And he kind of was. He was in the underworld. And he comes back dragging this giant monster dog. I think that's my favorite. Is that a question, or no? No. No, you just want to read me parts of my own book. So, did you... Oh. Ta-da. So, if that's it, if there's no more questions, I would just say thank you guys so much for coming here again today. You're a great audience. Couldn't have done all that panic-inducing screaming without you. And I'll just be signing over there in the corner. Thank you guys so much.